Hey everyone.
Hey everyone.
I'm Kaiya, Thrifty Redhead on Instagram.
And I'm Caitlin, Did I Thrift That Closet on Instagram.
And welcome to Flip That Jawn.
We are two full-time resellers from Philly, and this is a weekly podcast that explores the ins and outs of reselling while linking arms with the reselling community to help grow and learn from each other.
We're excited to connect with you and new voices that will help to inspire and motivate you in your reselling journey. Join us as we learn more about ourselves, each other, and our ever-growing awesome reselling community.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 13 of Flip That Jawn podcast. If you're new, hi, hello. And if you're coming back, big hello, and what's up to our tiny hand gang. As always, make sure you hit the thumbs up, click the bell, tell us how your week is going down below in the comments. And don't forget to join the tiny hand gang by hitting the subscribe button on YouTube. And if you're joining us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any other streaming platform, make sure you let us know what you're enjoying or what you want us to talk about by leaving a review. With that being said, this is a table talk with me and Kaiya. What up, Kaiya?
Dun dun dun. That was appropriate. What's up, y'alls?
I hope y'all are having a great week. We rolling through with the table talk. We know you guys like these episodes, and basically we do it every day anyway on FaceTime. So we were like, why don't we just do it for the podcast?
TED Table Talk.
TED Table Talk. Y'all know, if you're not following me on Instagram, I always have to I feel like it's like a hashtag I have to start using with Caitlin's TED Talks. And I'm just basically this is all I talked about in bullet points. I feel like I'm about to roll up in my stories with a PowerPoint presentation sometimes. All right, next slide. Fancy transitions.
With your laser pointer.
Oh my God, Clippy coming in, giving me the knowledge on how to make my PowerPoint better.
Oh God, please no.
You tell me you don't mess with Clippy?
No.
Clippy was my saving grace.
Clippy was ass.
Clippy was giving me those B+ and A- projects.
I'd be shut up, Clippy.
He'd always come in with but he would always come into with the most nonsense.
Big ass eyes just come out of nowhere. Get out of here, Clippy.
It would be when you're trying to save something and you're Clippy, stop. Clippy, no.
Make sure you fix this.
I'm hitting save. Content change. Podcast about Clippy.
You guys know about Clippy.
Let us know. And if you don't know about Clippy, you might be too young to be listening to this podcast.
Yeah. They're gonna go Google what's Clippy.
What is Clippy?
Clippy?
Yeah, besides Clippy, we're going to talk today. We've been talking about sustainability this month. We've had some awesome people come on, talk about sustainability as well. So we're going to talk about that before we jump into our next month's topic. And then we're also going to kind of half and half it for you guys today and talk about our experience with our first ever pop-up shop, which was this past Sunday. Quick shout out to anybody from the pop-up that is listening to the podcast.
Yay.
Hi, welcome to the Tiny Hand Gang. Y'all are the best. We had such a fun time meeting all of you, and you just brought so much love into the day. And as always, I feel like Tiny Hand Gang always, and they make the work worth it. They're really out here. We love it. So of course, make sure if you guys are listening, drop a hi, hello in the comments. And also, I've been telling people today, make sure you use the hashtag. I know a lot of people were throwing me style ideas they had from things they got from my racks. So I want to see those dreams become a reality. Please use the hashtag FTJPC so we can see it. We can share the looks. I love to see people's styles. I love to see their twists and turns.
I love how they were doing it at the rack, as they were buying the items. It was just yeah, I feel like this can go with this and this. I was yes, come through.
Yeah, I feel I always love it too. I was telling people if they had certain styles that they really liked to tell me. I also told a lot of people and we'll dive into this, but I told a lot of people too to follow us on Instagram. let us know if they're looking for like certain styles or certain things in particular, because we always be out there in the wild.
Oh yeah.
So
we will literally pick up things that we, sometimes may not be for us, but we know is for someone that either shops from us all the time or like a close PFF. Like, yo, this is Sarah style. Like if we find bucket hats, Sarah with the styles.
Usually Sarah with the style. Usually, bucket hats. I'm like, it depends on the pattern. I'm like, this could go Sarah. This could go Alyssa. Like,
yeah.
We kind of generally know that, but Kaiya, you want to talk about where our pop-up was and stuff like that?
Yeah, so you guys know we are Philly gang. So gang. So we were in Southwest Philadelphia at Clark Park, which is an amazing park, playground, like just out resource area for any and everything. I frequent the park a lot with my kids. My mother-in-law lives literally down the street. Can't tell y'all where because that's a little.
Don't be rolling up. That's a little.
Don't be rolling up that crib. She might get y'all. So, and me and Chris has lived there all his life. He loves the area. He's always talking about it. The kids love to go there, and this park is amazing. They always have something there. Like it's spread over like 2 blocks. I think it was like 2. It's like 1 block. What is this? Horizontal, and then 2. I'm like, Kayla, what does this mean?
Horizontal. You need Clippy to come in,
right? I need Clippy. Clippy, where are you, Clippy? And then 2 blocks like vertical. So it's a huge park. And one section of the park just has like table and chairs and just like a lot of grassy area. You can come have picnics. You can come do a lot of things. Like I just learned this new game Caitlin told me about.
Yeah.
I said, Caitlin, what are they doing with those metal balls?
Yeah. I'm about to shout out my mom, aka Val. I know she listens to this podcast. I made sure to spread the knowledge. They were playing bocce, and Kaiya was like, "Ooh, what is that? I want to play that. Like, what are these old people throwing things at this small metal thing?" And I was like, "Oh, you never fuck with bocce before?"
That's literally my life. Exactly what you said. An old person throwing something metal at another metal thing with other old people is my shit. That is my retirement, you guys.
It was like that's a mission statement of your retirement.
My retirement. I want to do that when I get older. Like when I retire, I want to throw whole metal things at metal things.
It was one of those random things because I grew up going down to where my parents live right now. Again, not gonna tell you guys that like direct roll up, but but I grew up going down there every summer with them or like vacations, and bocce was like a thing we would play, like because on the beach you have all that content change. We're gonna now talk about bocce, but like we had so much space to throw things, so I was like, this is so funny because I was like, this is a childhood memory. They play in bocce. It was gorgeous, and to have that like little dog park area too. So when we rolled up, I was like,
it was mad dog friendly. I loved it. All the dogs were like, hey you. They were
Ladybug was like, hi.
Yeah, Ladybug, you guys, legit, just close your eyes and imagine what I'm about to say to you. Ladybug is coming about 2 feet distance on her leash, and she's running sideways. Like, she couldn't keep up with herself. I was like, Caitlin, look at her. She's running sideways. Caitlin was just like, yeah, that's Ladybug.
I was
so amazed. I was like, how'd she do it?
I don't even know.
Falling.
Yeah, she just goes. She was like, boys are here.
She said,
people. Yeah, she was trying to get it in with this other dog. Mari said we had to pull her apart. She was trying to take the lead in that department.
Yes, him.
I said that's not how that works anatomically, Ladybug, but okay. Get your freak on.
We had Mr. Softy around all day. Growing up in North Philly, listen, you heard Mr. Softy, your ass better run downstairs and be on that curb with $1 real quick, because he would be out. Mr. Softy was on the corner the whole time. I was like, man, if I don't go get me an ice cream. But I was like, nope, not gonna do it to myself.
And luckily too, because we were kind of like all week it had rained and it was like really cold, and we were like, oh, this could be a thing.
We were wishing to the gods.
I said, please just get it out of your system. So Sunday is good.
It was so beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
Like we had on our of course we had on our merch. We had on our Flip That Jawn podcast hoodies, and I was like, dude, I'm ready to take this thing off. Like, it's nice out. Like, it was super nice. Like, it was so beautiful. I was like,
and it was like that. Day. It was like that middle ground too, where it wasn't like, I think we were both super hot from like unloading, which we'll definitely get into that process.
Oh Lord!
But between packing and unloading and setting up, but like it was like that nice, like in the middle, like spring day where it wasn't like super hot. It wasn't super windy. Well, the wind also at one point flipped that Jawn and
literally flipped my Jawn about a couple times. And I was like, Jesus, come on. Like,
so yeah, it was just really, so we really made out that with no rain and everything like that. And then, do we want to talk about how we ended up rolling up to the wrong spot? Like,
that was hilarious. Well, like I told you guys, Clark Park is huge. It's literally like you got to cross the street to get to the other park, which is like the playground, and then like the pit area where they do sorry, I just had change fall out my pocket. It's raining coins over here. And the pit area where they do soccer, and you know the dogs can run around and stuff. So we've seen people set up. So we were like, okay, this is where we're supposed to be. And it was at the, what is that, like gravel? It was like gravel area.
Yeah.
Where like the old people were playing the bocce, and like the tables and chairs were out, and just everyone was just frequent. It's like a circle area. The old dudes playing chess. So it was like a nice walk-through area. So we was like, this is perfect setup. But come to find out, you guys, we were in the wrong area.
Yeah, we had like actually like fully set up too.
Dude, like fully set up, like table and Rex.
I rolled up, but when Kai was parking, I was like, let me just double check. And I didn't see like the person that we had talked to. So I was like, I'll just ask around or whatever. And then I just went up to one of the people we ended up meeting, another vendor or later on. And I was like, are you here for like this? And he was like, what? Like, so I should have known by then it was maybe in the wrong spot. But you know what? We set up and we just had a good vibe. And then we actually had someone else that did the same thing as us next door. And we just like collectively were like, as long as it's kosher, like as long as we talk to the organizers, whatever, because our main thing was our pop-up, we didn't pay. We didn't have a vendor fee. So I just wanted to make sure that we weren't taking a space for somebody who paid for it. And then, okay, what'd you say? Our friend in the leather pants?
She had leather pants and she was amazing.
Yes.
Her eyeliner, like her wing.
Oh my God.
I was like, teach me, please.
I love how she was like, yeah, no, take up the space.
Yeah, like she literally came over and she was looking at stuff, and she was just talking, and that's when I think at that time you found out like, oh, we're supposed to be across the street. Like, should we move? And I was like, Jesus, please don't make us move again. Like, I got one broken now. I don't need another. So she was like, no, like, you're totally fine. Like, we don't have a vendor fee. It's perfectly fine. Like, you guys can stay here. And no one else wound up showing up to the circle but the people who were already set up plus us. That made it even better. So it was just like, we're all comfortable here. And we were getting a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah, we didn't even finish setting up, and it was like lady came right over to my rack and got a button up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that as a sign. Like, I'm gonna take it as the sign that it's just meant to be. And it was kind of dope because there was a lot of there, so I didn't really get a chance to, we were super busy, y'all. And so I didn't really get a chance to like go around and check out the other booths because I wanted to make sure like everything was Gucci. And then it was just fun. We had a lot of people go around, and there was a lot of other vintage resellers and vintage shops. So they were coming around. Everyone was supporting each other. And, you know, like that's what me and Kaiya are all about. It's just like supporting, especially supporting the city.
I think we just looked real inviting as well.
Oh yeah, that
You know how
metallic
you get that
rainbow.
vibe, like when people are like quiet or shy, and then you get us, and we are neither.
Yeah, we're not
We
like
were loud. We were not loud, not like rude loud or ghetto loud, but we were like loud. We were just like,
we
it
were
was
just
fun.
ourselves.
People were walking past. We was like, "Hey, how are you?" And it was like, "Oh, hey, what you got?"
So let's break it down for the people. So let's talk about some of the stuff that we did in order to prep for it. So what did you kind of do, Kaiya, in order to prep for a pop-up?
What I did, please don't do, is what I'm going to say firsthand, because it's not right, but it came together. I am a big procrastinator. So, you guys, if you paid attention to my Instagram, you know my mom had my kids Saturday and Sunday. So they spent the night at grandma's. So I had a free day, but it wasn't necessarily a free day because I had things to do before that. And when I came home that night after everything that I did, I was shit tired. And I was like, oh, I'll just get up early and do everything. I did, but it was the worst thing ever because my body was literally like ready to shut down as I packed everything in the car.
Yeah.
So it was just like I kind of put that on myself. But let me tell you what I did do. So I did get up mad early and packed everything up. What I chose to bring on my side was boutique items, boutique shoes, jewelry, and bags, and a couple of like shoes that I thought was like going to go really good for the crowd that was there, and a lot of customized bleach and cropped items. So that was my whole thing to bring, and of course my lovely body bags.
Yo, she's not kidding.
Body bags are my dollar items for the bins that, you know, just stuff that I had and I wanted to get rid of, but still, you know, wanted to see where it went. So it's like I had 3 whole bags of it, and I was like, listen, if it doesn't go, it's not moving, I'm just going to take it to Goodwill after. I'm not going to bring it back home. I'm not in love with these items anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's what it is.
She's not kidding, guys. She opened that trunk, and I'm thinking like you know, I've seen some bags. Like I've done some moves in my life, but I legitimately thought, okay, Kai and I about to roll somewhere because I'm being an accomplice because I'm pretty sure this is a dead body in here.
No, sis, when I say contractor bag, like I mean like the Lowe's 50-gallon, like black heavy duty contractor bags filled to the max.
It was a lot.
And a lot of it was suit jackets.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like you didn't even get to pull a lot of it out. And
yeah, I put some of them out, but I mean, if no one's really taken or interested in it and it's $1, I was like, all right, like Lauren said, it's time for it to move on to the next thing. And Goodwill was the next stop. I was like, oh, what time they close? Okay, we can roll through. I'm not going to take this back. So I also packed, you know, we had to have racks. So I had 2 racks. One, Lord save me, was a 5 and below rack, new in box. You guys, I love 5 and below, but don't count on it. Okay. It wasn't that bad to assemble, but I did break one of the pieces while assembling it. I don't know how it broke. And then it just wasn't sturdy or like, it wasn't structurally put together, right? Not by me, because I can put the rack together.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the way they built it or whatever, it just wasn't worth it. And then I had my Walmart rack, which was the best one. So I was like, I should have just bought 2 of you. So I had that, and then 2 bins, and then we had our table with this beautiful Dollar Tree tablecloth that was like, it was beautiful, y'all. I used it for my daughter's birthday party, and I told Caitlin about it because we love rainbows and shit like that. So I was like, listen, I got like a rainbow tablecloth. But it's metallic and it's foil. The way that thing was reflecting out there, it was getting people. I'm telling you. It was like, ooh, what's that light?
Yeah, definitely. The racks. I told Marty when we got home, we only had about 3 times that the racks decided to give up on life. But we said, no, you got to keep pushing through. Yeah, definitely. Your Walmart one definitely worked. I had 2 from Target. That definitely, it was until that gust of wind came, like that only knocked one of them down. So yeah, definitely make sure you get good racks. Our friend Sarah just had a pop-up this week too, and she said one legitimately snapped in half. But she made it work. So definitely get your racks situated, it's true when they say quality over quantity sometimes, especially if you're going to use it like for more pop-ups, like just invest in a rack.
I am considering doing that. The neighbor of ours, the guy that was supposed to be with the hardcore, his racks were decent. They were sturdy.
Oh yeah.
They were nice, shiny, like they were looking good. I was like, oh yeah, I think I want to invest in, because I mean, in the house, ain't no wind gushing through here. So I don't have to worry about, windy knocking my stuff over. But outside, I want to have like nice quality stuff so my stuff doesn't drop. And then we were in gravel, and I was like, man, these jeans keep falling down. I don't want this stuff to get messed up. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to definitely invest in some good racks for sure. But other than that, we didn't really need like
that
much. Like you don't have to overthink it. You know, we didn't have a banner. We had a $2 Tra frames, and we printed out the logo, and then we printed out the payment info, and we just had those stood up on the table. We had a bowl of candy to like, listen, free stickers, free candy, come back.
So I am like super OCD at organizing. I don't know if Kaiya knows this by now. Like,
dude,
I have to. So
she had her hangers and garbage bags.
Listen, but did you see it work?
It worked. It was decent as fuck. I was just like,
I said,
damn, I want to be more like Caitlin.
So like basically what I did, I tried to do as much. I hate doing a lot of stuff at once. I mean, I still had to do, like, if you're going to do a pop-up, you still have to do a lot of work, guys. Like, you got to think about what you're bringing. You got to think about where's your pop-up, like what kind of crowd are you going to get? What type of season is it? Your pricing and stuff. So basically ahead of time, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring like a rack of vintage, and then I'm going to bring graphic tees, because I was thinking, y'all know how I feel about graphic tees, and graphic tees are going to sell well, right? Like vintage graphic tees. So basically what I did is I put all my graphic tees, I comped them. Make sure when you do your comps, like, too, that you're like accounting for the fact that you don't have to do shipping. So even though you're like, this $18 for like this vintage 90s, it's like, yeah, but you don't have to pay the extra shipping. Like, it's going straight to hand. So what I did is I made like a Google sheet, and I had a tub, and I was just doing like batch work, and I was putting them in with like what the item is, the size, and then what I comped them on. And then all I was doing for graphic tees was taking painter tape and then putting in Sharpie what they were. And I had them in a bin. And then I said I was rolling with one rack of vintage, but I ended up with two. I had one rack of like dresses, skirts, jackets, and like shorts and pants, and then one rack of blouses and like that kind of stuff. And what I did beforehand is I just put it in the Excel sheet. I think I really like that. And I also had them in a numerical system that way, so I knew how many items of what I was bringing. Like, I knew I was coming with 54 graphic tees. I knew I was coming with this amount of stuff on the racks. And then I also did hanging tags. So they had the numerical system, the size, and then the price on them. So I definitely recommend like doing just a little bit ahead of time, because when I came home today and I unloaded everything, I was able to sit through the inventory sheet and go, okay, that sold, and I can get a better idea of like what my customers liked and what I would probably bring next time. Like, next time I'd probably bring half of my graphic tees or a smaller part, and probably stick with like the racks a little bit more. But people are popping off for the reworked stuff. People are popping off for shorts, that kind of stuff. So I was actually kind of surprised, because I thought people were going to go more for the graphic tees. I think honestly next time I probably, we both donated we let that stuff go. We let it go afterwards, and I don't know if I would people were digging the dollar bins, but girl, my Venmo transactions were like $1, $1, $1, $3, $1. And I was like, I love it. I appreciate the hustle of the bins, but yeah, I think doing the racks, we had a lot of stuff, and I think next time I would want to maybe condense my curation a little bit more, and just know like it's about, again, the quality over the quantity, but now I can kind of get a general vibe of that. But yeah, I think just having some sort of inventory spreadsheet worked really well for me. And then the garbage bag hanger idea was, I put on my story because that was clutch. Like, I had everything in categories. I had the hangers through, so I knew that like I didn't want to mess up like some of the vintage clothing before it went on a rack. So like once the racks were assembled, which I don't even know, I think we made like a record timing in assembling racks, to be honest, because that was like so fast. We were like boom, boom, boom. It was just able to throw it up and then pull the hangers out, or like pull them out, and it was like boom, my stuff's already good and my tags are in there. I don't have to worry about the missing hanging tags. So the prep, I think I probably did a lot of prep. I mean, I was up till like 1:30 p.m. or 1:30 a.m. working on stuff until, and I was like, I gotta go to bed because Kai's picking me up in like 7 hours and we're gonna have to pack this car. And you know, you just kind of like, I feel like the first one you kind of figure out what your jam is. But you know, definitely, you know, you can wing it. You can also prep it. Like, you gotta do what's best for you.
I think that a lot of tables I seen on the side we were at were like either vintage items or like creations, like handmade stuff. Like the couple that was next to us made like ceramic dishes and cups.
They were awesome.
And pottery, and it was like, oh, that's nice. And then like the walkway was like where a bunch of people were too, and I seen graphic tees. I seen some lady make, I think it was candles or like vintage kind of like the old candlestick candles. I don't know if she makes them or whatever, but I seen those. I seen a bunch of that guy that we met. Oh my God, his vintage jacket, his windbreaker. I was like, dude, are you selling that or are you wearing it? Because he's like, no, it's on sale. He's like, it's selling, but I got chili, so I wore it. And I was like, you ain't selling that.
I definitely recommend. I mean, that was awesome to have. So we printed out our payment information. Also, we had a pretty good split between cash and electronic payments.
Yeah.
So definitely, like, if you're planning to do it, have some petty cash. We probably should have rolled with a few more ones, but you live and you learn. But the majority of electronic payments were through Venmo, because you can just scan the thing, and so it was super quick. And I kind of like that because, you know, it will like show you who paid, so I can, instead of just being like thanks, I was like, thanks Sarah, thanks, like, you know, you can be more, you know, make that connection with people. And I would say too, the biggest plus that we had, first of all, can we just applaud, as always, like, Sellers merch, y'all are angels, because the thing I procrastinated about was stickers until Monday.
Come through with the sticker game, and that is something people loved out there. They were like, especially because it had free on it, it was just like, can I have a sticker? Can I get a sticker? And I was like, yes, go ahead. And I told Caitlin, I was like, dude, next we need to have some pens. We need to have pens for people to put on their caps or jackets and stuff. Like, you know, we need to get that popping.
Well, I was like, Sellers merch, y'all are angels. The shout outs for you, because I wrote the most chaotic comment in a Poshmark bundle on Monday. It was like, we need these stats. Do I need to send you this graphic again? Like, yo, they had that literally by like Wednesday, Thursday morning. It was like, it was Wednesday, I think.
I think it was Wednesday.
I was like, y'all are angels.
Those ladies are amazing. They design, they create a lot of art. We create it, but they bring it to life.
And they were like, do you want 1.5-inch ones? Do you want 2-inch? And it was like, and then of course, like they sent me a little shipping discount, and like that's always
And
appreciated.
then they send you like here are other
samples.
things we have. And then you look at it, you're like, I freaking need these now. Damn it.
But they're awesome. I was like, I wouldn't trust anyone else from like a pop-up being Sunday, me ordering Monday, which was for me was super lit. And then to get it on Wednesday. So huge thank you to them. But I would definitely recommend getting something that you can give your people for free, whether it be stickers, pins, just a little something. Again, think of it as an investment, as PR for your company, you know.
Yeah.
And then we definitely had stacks of our individual thank you cards with like our information on it as well.
Yeah, I think that really went. I think that Jesus. I can't get my words straight sometimes. I don't know what that is when you mix up like the words. I think it went really good is what I want to say. Because our thank you cards were different, but they were one thing I had in common is it was very
they were
bright.
really similar. Yeah.
They were bright. Like we're bright people. And we both picked, like we designed them. Of course, you know, we gotta shout out best buddy in the whole wide world, Canva. Always on the lookout. You can create your own design. It comes with thousands, tops of thousands templates. So no matter what, everybody's stuff is going to look different. So shout out to Canva. And of course, Kate is always on the ball. So she was able to order hers from Vistaprint. I, on the other hand, was not. So I put all my chips on Staples and said, hey, can I get the same day? And you know what's crazy, Caitlin? I know I told you, I said, yeah, I ordered it Thursday for same day delivery and I never got an email back. I did get an email back. I just missed it.
See, so, Staples was on.
Yeah, they were on.
Like,
they were
gotta
on.
Be quicker than that.
Yes, because I went Saturday after I left my cousin's house. I went Saturday before I came home. And I was like, man, I hope they're ready. So then I just went in the search button on my email and typed in Staples and it came up Thursday evening. And I was like, oh. I was like, well, thank God I seen that before I got there and cussed them out because that would have been really unprofessional. So
and it would have been like, ma'am.
Yeah, like, ma'am.
They're already done.
So I was like, thank you. I was like, I got to pop up tomorrow. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Yeah, so definitely have like promotional stuff. Yeah. Like I know, well, first of all, I was going to order from Vistaprint anyway because like I always put a thank you postcard style thing in all of my orders, whether it's like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, live sales, whatever it is, like it's worth the investment. It's marketing materials. It tells you where you can connect with me. You can tell us where you can buy the podcast, you know. So definitely just do it. And it's, you know, I feel like Vistaprint always has a coupon too. It's like, so it's really not that bad. And Staples, now I'm glad. I mean, that's a clutch idea for same day.
It was like 50 for, because I only got 50 because I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. So I was like, I'm going to start out with the least amount. I just really need them for tomorrow because I want to order from Vistaprint because I think their prices is way better for the bulk amount that you get. So it was 50 for, I think, what did I pay? Like $26, $26.99 maybe. And then I wound up, I'm so dumb. I wound up ordering it and then they send me a text. I didn't go back and read my text message. They sent me a text for 10% off. I was like, damn it, Kaiya. Ooh. So fast. Speedy fingers.
Yeah,
so 10% off.
Definitely have some sort of like promotional, even if you don't have signage. Like, I feel like that's just an extra, like Kaiya's, like ours was super cheap and easy to be done. But like, you know, even if you don't have signage, like have something so that we even had people that didn't buy it, but you know, we just gave them the information. Because
of course the back, it tells us like how you can get in contact with us.
Yeah.
So it has our Instagram, mine has my Facebook, my TikTok, my Clubhouse name, and then it has a huge picture of our podcast logo and like, hey, mine is like, check out FTJPC on YouTube, join the THG every Wednesday for a new episode on Apple, Google, Anchor, Spotify, you know, subscribe, all that good stuff. So I think that was more important than because we want to make those connections. We want to network. We want to talk to people because, of course, we're here at a pop-up to sell our items and we are resellers. But, hey, this is where we're coming from with it. Like, we're here as Flip That Jawn podcast.
And to be honest, so I was talking, so I feel like I've said this on the podcast, like Marty works in sales And when we were done, like after we had a dinner with like a bunch of people afterwards, which was really, really nice to just celebrate and be around friends. Like I felt like that was like somewhat getting back to a new normal. Like just going to a restaurant and having dinner with friends was like so nice. We were literally talking about, he's like, as many means of networking there is now, like online and everything, you still cannot beat face-to-face marketing, because sure, like you may have someone who just like ends up dropping that whatever, but you also may be able to make that connection with somebody like you really never know. You can open a door, like I always say, to another thing. So just have that, like that face-to-face connection. And I will say that too, like you can have all the promotional things and the signage on your table, but if you are not like welcoming people to the booth, if you're not asking them like, can I help you find something, is there anything you're looking in particular, like here's the breakdown of all the stuff, like let us know if you have questions. If you see someone like going through racks, like be like, oh yeah, that's bomb, that would look great, like that. Like definitely don't, if you're gonna do it, definitely make sure that you're like talking to people, just to like keep an eye on all of your stuff, and B, like then it's also like you're just gonna probably make more sales doing that. Like, so don't just like sit at the table and sit back like expecting people are gonna take your promotional cards. You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
think no one would probably come over because
yeah,
you don't look inviting. You have to be inviting for people to, you know, come over and engage. And I feel
like
like that's just who we are.
that's just who we are. And also like some people didn't roll with stuff, but a lot of people, like I think I taught like 5 people how to do measurements on themselves, which they're like, oh, I've never done that. Shout out to my Poshmark measuring tape, because I was like, oh, what do you need? I'm like snapping it back. Like I literally taught people like, okay, this is how you find the bust, this is how you find the waist, because they were like, I don't know any of this. So now like even if they didn't get anything, they're getting you know, there's a difference between getting like actual merchandise, but then also getting like advice or information is also a huge win, guys, because that can be like somebody who never knew that, and now they're like, oh, now I remember, you know, Kaylin from Flip That Jawn told me how to measure my bust. Like,
Right.
like I'll share that or whatever, like that tip on whatever it is, you know, or I'll just pop it in their brain every time they try to do their measurements, you know? So I think that was dope. You definitely have to, if you're kind of shy and reserved, either like do it with somebody that's going to pull a little bit more out of you,
Right.
or you know, it's a great way to practice. It's the same way I tell people like on Poshmark, like you can sit there and you can wait for people to ask you questions and bundle, like you can just have people liking your stuff all day, but you will make sales more if you comment those people, just like any other retail store. You know, if you go into, I don't know, if you go into a Macy's, if you go into what, I don't know why I pulled Macy's, but if you go into any clothing retail store, the retail employees talk to you. So if you're running a secondhand shop, you got to do the same thing, whether it's through a computer or in person. Like you got to talk to those people. And I think it was cool because we actually had a few people too. I know I think it was the lady next door to us was like, hey, I'd love to connect with you guys to like have you rework some of my denim pants. And I was like, Kaiya, here you go. Here's your moment. Let's go, sis. Like,
Yeah, those denim pants were the shit.
but even just that, opening that door to be like, hey, can you rework something for me? Like
That's
that's
what I
really
feel to
dope.
bring at a pop up. Like I think you mentioned this earlier about knowing the crowd and knowing like what, you know, what the whole aesthetic is. I mean, you never really know the aesthetic unless you know like the organization that's sponsoring the whole pop up. But I felt like the crowd that we were going after was like vintage graphic tee, like unique items. Like everyone that came up, yeah, they were looking through the dollar bins and stuff and looking at some of the boutique items that I had, but they were really looking at vintage items and reworked items that we had.
Yeah. But I feel like that's always something like it could go either way. But I think if you just research like the event so I would say research the event you're doing. Maybe look at here's a pro tip. Maybe look at people that are commenting on the posts about the event, or if it's I don't know, if it's a Facebook event, if you're doing something, like look at the people that say they're attending. Because most of the time I feel like when people say they're attending, like they definitely want to go to that, because those event invites sit in like purgatory of Facebook for me. So I have to be really hyped about something to say I'm going to go to something. So like go to the event page, think about, okay, where am I setting up? Like I had a lot of shorts go. Think about the seasons. Like right now people are cleaning out a lot of their closets to make room for spring and summer coming in. And I just recommend, you can't get it perfect. Like you're not going to show up perfectly. There were definitely things I would do. Also, I just say pricing too. Like pricing, just make sure you're meeting it in the middle. Like if it's going to be also stick to your guns about pricing. Can we just talk about that moment too?
I actually had someone that uppaid me.
Yeah.
She was like, hey sis, like these pants are fire that you created. It should be worth more than what you're pricing it at. And she was like, I'm from New York. If I was in New York, like these pants would be like $100-$200. I was like, oh, thank you so much. I don't think it was
like this custom denim jacket. And I think it was honestly like I just don't have any more cash like on me more than that. And I'm just like, you know what? I've said it before in the past 2 podcasts, like know the value of your work, know your time, know the effort you put into things. If it's a custom made piece, like know that has value. And I was just like, I felt like I had reached like a new level of myself, because I was like, nah, like I'm not like me starting reselling would have been like, okay, yeah, because I just wanted to go. And now I'm like, and he literally was like, he asked me like, why was my, not in a rude way, but like, what was my decision on that? And I was like, because I put time. This is a custom piece. I've made it myself. I cannot go any lower than this. I said, come back next time. Follow me on Instagram. I can tell you when it's up in a shop if you want to pick it up that way. If you want to hit me up later, like that's fine. Also, I would say too, like it with the cards too, like if you guys are doing something extra on your Instagrams, like if you have live sales weekly, if you do a monthly thing, like if you have a podcast, like tell them about that, because there's a lot of people that we gave cards to that either bought or didn't buy. And I was like, we do weekly sales, Instagram live sales, because people were like, are you going to come back next week? Or are you going to come back? Are you going to come back? I said, you can find us on Instagram every Friday night, 8 to 10:30 p.m. with a live sale, with a theme. And I checked my Instagram yesterday when I came home before I passed out, and people definitely followed. I know people were very interested in that. So, definitely make sure if you're doing extra stuff that you want to also promote, like definitely talk about it. What do you think, Kaiya?
No, I definitely agree. My husband had mentioned before, because I asked him a few times about pricing items, and he said something interesting. He was like, well, what is your hourly rate? Ooh. So I said, I don't know. I was like, I never thought about it that way. He was like, whatever, how much time you used to make an item. He was like, why you just don't charge your hourly rate? Like as if you work like a 9 to 5 and you got to go clock in and shit. And this is how much you get paid an hour. He was like, this is how much you get paid an hour. So this is your hourly rate. I was like, ooh, that's something to think about.
I like that. And meanwhile, my dude's telling me the opposite thing, because he was like, I was like, oh, sure. What do you, sometimes I throw spaghetti at the wall with him as an outside perspective. He doesn't know anything about comps. He doesn't know anything about pricing. And he was like, Marty with the pony was like, remember, you're selling to your community. So these are your people. Like, so you wanna give a fair deal to your people, obviously value your work, but like you're selling to your community, your people. Like, also remember that, like, remember how you would feel on the other side of that. And there was a few times too where, like, I was very flexible. I said, look, this is 18, I can do it for 15. Like, the first person that came by, I gave them a little couple dollar discount. I had another girl who was eyeing this piece. I said, I'll do it for this. Even that Nike windbreaker, it was like 25. But I was like, hey, just so you got, there's like a little defect here. I just want you to, have a good experience, not think that I'm like, not disclosing something to you. And he was like, can you do 20? I was like, dope. So, you can also take offers, but like, yeah, know your worth. You got to find the line between knowing your time and value and worth, as I will always stand behind. But also remember, when you're in person, like, you're kind of you're in your community. You know what I mean? So you want to find that weird in the middle spot, which can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah, I'm definitely for the offers. I'm for it on Poshmark.
Yeah.
So why not? Like, if you're like, if it's an item that's like $30 and you're trying to give me like 10, it's like, well, there now. But I'm definitely for the offers. I feel like it was just good all around, you guys. And I say we were really busy. Like, we had nonstop foot traffic. Like, whether just someone coming up for a free sticker or talking to us about the podcast or actually looking at items and styling or just spending the time we had. Oh my God, the Sarah that we met. Sarah with an H. I think she was Sarah with an H, right?
Head can go in. She followed me. She followed me on Instagram. So, yeah. And Small World, she's friends with my friend Jordan. So I was like, small world.
Yeah, Sarah with an H. She actually spent her time going through the dollar bin and folding everything back.
Yeah, I was like, I
was like, girl,
we love you. Hire you. Like, thank you. Would you say, Kaiya, you would do it again? And if you would do it, I think we're both on the same page. We would do it again. But what would you do differently?
Not procrastinate.
That's what I meant. I was gonna try to be like, for your own like, what would you personally do? I
would not procrastinate and wait till the last minute to do things. I don't know if I would probably do like the whole inventory thing, because all of my stuff is already inventory, so I don't know about a double thing. I would have the same 2 racks. I want to continue doing reworked items. I probably want to do more showcase like my craftiness more so than selling what I already have, like either listed or like ready to list. I think that's kind of what I view a pop-up for me. I want to showcase like my uniqueness.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I loved that you had all the reworked items, because I was in love with all that. I literally was like, I think if that doesn't go, I'll probably pick it up.
Dude, I had a bleached unicorn lifting bench pressing. It was a unicorn bench pressing, and I bleached it. I was like, oh, this is dope.
And then Kaiya kept pulling things up, and I was like, oh my God, wait, what? And then and so I think I like that. It gives you an opportunity. I'm always for being in the creative pocket. I'm always riding for you to like be in the creative pocket. So I say show it off. I think I would definitely probably maybe next time add some more of my reworked collections, maybe finally drop some of them in that aspect. And then maybe just curate the collection a little bit tighter, so I wasn't bringing, again, I was getting quality over quantity, because I think the hardest part was just like getting everything packed up, getting everything set up, get everything broken down. I will say, if you're doing it like with me and Kaiya, like, I was like, okay, we take breaks. Like, go take a break. I'm gonna go take a break, mostly so I can walk Ladybug. to see all the thick boys, and then, you know, make sure you delegate that because, again, you're on the clock, but it can get super overwhelming and super tiring. So making sure that you get those break times in as well.
I think next time, I don't really like bins because they get heavy. So I was thinking of doing like the rolly luggage, the one that I scooped at Liberty's Thrift, having those giant ones, like maybe a couple of those. Like if I can thrift any more of those that size, I would probably have those to use because it's easier to take out the car and roll it to your destination. I don't have to lift anything or force myself to break a nail.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah. And
well, that's what I thought when you got it. I was like, oh, for the pop-up.
No,
and then you
that's
said no for a vacation.
And then also we want to have proper signage. Like we want to have a nice banner, a vinyl banner. So that's something we'll probably wind up investing in. And then sturdy racks. Like just having that put to the side, like not even put it back up when I get back to the house. Like just keep them apart and put them in the garage, and it's just used for pop-ups since the summer and the really, really nice Philly weather hopefully is about to come on through. This would be something we do very frequent.
I would probably invest in my racks were pretty good. It was just when that huge gust of wind came.
It was when Nancy came. We're gonna call her Nancy. When Nancy came gushing through, she was like, "What is this?"
I would probably invest in weights because my racks are pretty sturdy, but I think
like weights or like
no, just like some sort of sandbag thing that I can just put on the bottom because I ended up just rolling a bin. I mean, the bin helped with that, like rolling it over so it could secure it. But that would be one thing. But I think like other than that, I think it was pretty, I think the totes get very heavy. We even took one of my totes and just threw the graphic tees in canvas bags.
That's another thing. You know, we didn't have
I was gonna tie that with
sustainability. So we didn't have any bags for the customers that brought like several items or something. And we did have a few people say like, "Oh, do you have any bags?" And we were like, "No."
We're trying to be a garbage bag and then you can reuse it at home.
We were trying to be sustainable and not have any plastic. We didn't want to take plastic bags. I have plastic bags, and of course I forgot them. But Caitlin was like, "Yeah, we don't really want to do that." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right about that." So we were thinking about doing canvas totes and screen printing them with our logo. And then it'll be something sustainable and it'll be merch for them and it'll be a sell for the podcast. So it's a win-win-win.
So if you guys want canvas bags, let us know for sure. Yeah, I was almost like, this kind of works perfectly because I was like, I don't know how I feel about like giving like I'm trying to be sustainable, but that's what people roll them in.
It would have just been a lot of plastic bags,
and you know they're just gonna end up either in the like people are just gonna throw them out. They're gonna like whatever. They're just gonna end up in your mouth. Everybody has a mountain underneath their kitchen sink. Like I'm convinced of plastic bags. So I was like, you know what? There was a few. I said I'll give you garbage bags to have, and then you get a free garbage bag for your house. But like, you know, most people were either carrying. It was nice to see most people carrying totes, carrying canvas bags, or you know, just trying to make it work.
I seen one girl with a shopping cart, like the mini shopping carts. I seen her and she had like a reusable tote, like a large one in there, like a line in it. And I was like, yeah, she came to play.
And like, yeah, it worked out. It worked out really well. Financially, it was a win. But definitely do your research on stuff. Like, make sure you feel comfortable where you're going. If you need it, like, luckily we were able to have Lauren roll through from New York City, which was great to just have an extra, like, she's an angel. We love her. We even plan on her to come down to help, like, break down or whatever. She just was rolling through. And, you know, us reselling community, we always helping each other. So, like, if that's something you need to, if you're just doing it and you need someone else to help you, invest in it just so that you can feel comfortable in, like, you know, smooth sailing. But definitely excited to do it again. I 12 out of 10 would recommend it to everyone.
And we were lucky to not have a vendor's fee.
Yeah.
So you can also do your research on that. I'm not opposed to paying a vendor's fee because, I mean, if you do your research and the organization is like for something that you're for and it goes to that organization, I'm not opposed to, paying a vendor's fee. But if you can find one without a vendor's fee, that's even better.
Especially for a first one. It's like,
yeah, because you don't want to lose. Because you essentially want to make that back.
Yeah, and you want to like get the general, like, this is what works for me, like this is what I do, and we hope this podcast episode kind of helped you guys, with the plethora of information we're giving out, because we just want everyone to win. And I know with the nice weather coming and people getting vaccinated and people go, it's just people. I also think that was a huge part of it too, Kai. It was like people were just glad to be outside.
Yeah.
People were glad to be shopping small businesses. People were glad to just be out and like around other people and in nature. Like,
and so socially distanced. Like we were everyone was masked up. People weren't too close. Even when they were shopping at our booth, me and Caitlin, of course, like our 6-foot table kind of helped us a lot because Caitlin had her racks on one side and then literally like 6 foot away was like my side of the rack. So people were still separated and they were very cautious and very aware of like digging through the dollar bins in front, like next to other people. So I think that's kind of where we're heading. Like with the world, people are really, we're taking Rona in. So we're letting her come sit at the table.
But she has to sit like all the way
she got to sit all the way at the end. But we're like, hey girl, you can come. You're here to stay, we see. So let's learn how to be with you. So I thought that it was really good.
Yeah, I think people were just excited to like get back to do it.
I was excited.
Because think about like after a year of like, I mean, not to discount people coming out, like definitely we both love the support from like the online platforms and everything like that. But like, I think people just missed shopping. Like people just missed going and looking at stuff in person and like not having to pay shipping, and like not having to wait either like, maybe a day for Prime, whatever, or like, weeks and then back, like USP. So I think people were just excited to shop. And people out of like everything in 2020, I think people realized like how important small businesses are. And I think that changed a lot of people's mindsets to like give back and to shop small. And so I think people were just excited to shop. They were excited to continue the trend to shop small. Also, being like a woman-run business, like, people want to support that. I know. Wait, can we just point to like halfway through the pop-up, we were just chilling there, and then I was like, wait, why do we not have Spotify on? Like, nobody's telling us that we can't listen to Megan.
We definitely repped some Megan and Cardi, and people were over there like, yes, honey, yes.
Yeah, I was like, wait, this is too quiet.
I was like, oh, y'all wasn't in the live on Friday. Don't get me started.
Like, yeah, I was like, this is too quiet. Like, people like that energy. We up in the booth like dancing. So it's like, I was waiting for Kai to give the tutorial to me for the up dance because I just can't. But like, I think people were just excited to be out. People were excited to support. And just, it was just good vibes. So definitely recommend it. Do your research. Prep in whatever way works best for you.
And don't be scared, you guys.
Yeah, don't be scared.
You don't know nothing unless you try it.
Because honestly, if you're going in, and this is what I told Kaiya when we decided to do it, I said, we're not paying for a vendor fee, which I think is the smart way to go when you're just into it. I said, we're literally not losing anything. If we fall on our face, we fall on our face, but we'll learn how to do it better. And we're going to network. Like if it like that. And again, networking face-to-face is like gold, right? Like people know, like they can read your body language. They're going to like remember those stuff. We are branded up. Like people are going to remember that. So like that sometimes is worth more than like what you're walking away in your pocket, I think. Like, do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, so now that we gave you a plethora of information, go sign up, go do a pop-up. Tell us if it's in the Philly area.
Let us know. Yes, we will definitely show up.
like I've been in the tri-state area. We about to both be fully vaccinated.
Yes.
So we ready to roll. We ready to get it popping.
Booyah.
All right. And we will catch again. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, or you want to talk about pop-ups, you just want like help with something, hit us up appropriately in the DMs.
You can slide in my DMs for that.
Yeah, definitely let us know, and we would love to help you guys.
Thank you, THG, for coming back and hanging out with Caitlin and I on another episode of Flip That Jawn. We hope that you enjoyed this month's topic on sustainability and hope that it helps you grow within your business. Come along next week as Caitlin and I discuss a new and very important topic within the reseller community, mental health awareness. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. See you next week, guys.